Let's talk trade now. Bryce Callahan, could he be dealt into the New York Jets? Makes sense. There was a report that the Broncos are open to trading Callahan. Now, I think part of that was a open if we get a big-time offer, which is fair because, A, that's how all NFL teams tend to operate, and B, the Broncos have great depth at corner, and C, teams need cornerback help, and Bryce Callahan is a very good football player. The Jets make sense as a destination because, as we'll get into, their cornerback room is bad. Now, Callahan only played in 10 games last year, but his production from a coverage standpoint was incredible. 54.4% in terms of his completion percentage, 205 yards, 0 touchdowns allowed, 2 interceptions, 5 pass breakups. The long-term future for Callahan in Denver might be a little bit murky, but Denver seems to love corners, so I'm not convinced they trade him. In terms of which team needs Callahan the most, I don't think there's a team in the NFL that has a worse and, frankly, I'd say limited upside cornerback room than the New York Jets. Bryce Hall, Brandon Echols, and Javelin Guidry, Jason Pinnock, Isaiah Dunn, Michael Carter, the non-running back, the cornerback version, Justin Hardy, those guys were not early draft picks. I'm a big fan of Bryce Hall. I think there's upside there. He hasn't proven really anything yet in his young NFL career. Bryce Callahan comes in and is instantly head and shoulders better than any cornerback on that roster, although he doesn't fit the typical style of what Robert Saleh has liked in San Francisco as part of that more cover 3 Seahawks style defense. So I would have interest, but also if you're the Jets, the flip side here, does an almost 30-year-old corner really fit your timeline? I'm not so sure. So get your votes in for me in the comments section. What draft pick do you think Bryce Callahan is worth in a trade? Is he worth a second-round pick or a third-round pick? Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Some Jets roster moves to discuss now, as they've made a couple notable additions to their active roster and to their practice squad. First up, they've signed Sheldrick Redwine, the former Cleveland Browns safety. He'll provide some added depth. In fact, I would bet he ends up being safety 3 fairly quickly for New York behind LaMarcus Joyner and Marcus May. Remember, Ashton Davis is currently on IR. I like the safety duo in New York. It's the cornerback room that I'm not quite sold on. Next up is Josh Adams. He's been brought back to the active roster as well. The former Notre Dame product is extra depth at the position, which I think will be an intriguing rotation this year with Tevin Coleman, LaMichael Pirine, Michael Carter, Ty Johnson in that conversation as well. Down the road, probably this year, I bet Michael Carter emerges at some point. But I think you'll see Coleman, Pirine, Carter, and Johnson all get carries at some point this season, which complicates things from a fantasy perspective, I know. Now for the practice squad, 2 guys who have pretty decent amount of NFL experience, both of them at safety for New York. Gerard Wilson, who's played some time for the Jags in particular, 69 tackles last year, practice squad guy. It's very nice. Good point there, Producer Sam. Nice tackle production right there from Wilson. Not elite, but he does give you great depth on that practice squad. So too does Adrian Colbert, who knows the Niners scheme from his, time in San Francisco. I'm pretty sure the overlap there with Robert Saleh as well. So Colbert comes in, both Colbert and Wilson on the practice squad, giving some veteran depth guys there for the New York Jets.